You know, I've noticed something about my mind, and it has a habit of living in places that my feet have never been. I'll be driving to work, and somehow I'm already imagining conversations that haven't happened yet. I'll be sitting with my family, and part of my mind is trying to solve problems that don't even exist today. I'll lie in bed late at night, and before I know it, I've lived through 10 different versions of tomorrow. Maybe you've been there too. We rehearse the future and predict outcomes. We prepare for the worst case scenarios. We try to solve problems before they arrive, and we try to carry tomorrow's burdens with today's strength. And eventually, we wonder why we're exhausted. The older I get, the more I realize that anxiety often brings with it a simple assumption that everything depends on me, that if I think hard enough, plan carefully enough, prepare thoroughly enough, maybe, just maybe, I can control what hasn't happened yet. Now, don't get me wrong, planning isn't wrong. Wisdom prepares. Scripture encourages diligence. There's nothing unspiritual about making plans. The problem comes when planning quietly becomes control, when preparation turns into obsession, when wisdom becomes worry. I've had seasons where I spent more time trying to predict tomorrow than actually living for today. And looking back, so many of the things that I feared never happened. The conversations I replayed in my head, the opportunities I thought I'd lose, the disasters that I had imagined. Most of them existed only in my imagination, but they still stole my peace. I've started asking myself a question whenever I feel that familiar anxiety that's creeping in. Has God asked me to carry this today? Sometimes the answer is yes. There's a conversation I need to have, a responsibility that I may need to fulfill, a decision that can't be avoided. But many times, the answer is no. I'm carrying next month's burden with today's grace. I'm trying to solve next year's problems with today's wisdom. I'm demanding certainty from a God who has only promised me his presence. Jesus taught us to pray for our daily bread, our daily bread. I've read those words countless times, but lately they've begun to feel different. Daily bread means today's provision, today's grace, today's strength, not because tomorrow doesn't matter, but because God knows something that I often forget. I can only live one day at a time. Maybe that's why he doesn't give us next year's grace today. It would only tempt us to live somewhere we were never meant to be. I've realized that peace isn't found in knowing the future. It's found in knowing the one who already does. That changes everything. Because if my peace depends on understanding every step ahead, I'll never have peace. There will always be another unknown variable, another possibility, another reason to worry. But if my peace is rooted in God's character instead of my certainty, then even unanswered questions don't have to steal my rest. I've noticed that some of the most peaceful people that I know aren't the ones with the clearest futures. They're the ones who have learned to trust God in uncertain seasons. Their confidence isn't in their plans, it's in God's faithfulness. That kind of peace is different. It's quiet and steady, unshaken. Not because life is easy, but because their foundation isn't built on circumstances. I'm still learning that. There are days where I want guarantees, days where I wish God would just hand me a detailed map of the next 10 years, tell me exactly where I'm going, how exactly things will work out, exactly when every prayer will be answered. But that's rarely how it works now. Instead, He gives us enough light for the next step, enough grace for today, enough oil for our lamp, enough strength for this moment right here. And somehow that's enough because every time that I've looked back on my life, I've seen something I couldn't see while I was living it. God was already there before I understood, before I was ready. Before I knew how things would unfold, he was already making a way. Maybe that's why I don't have to fear tomorrow. Not because I know what tomorrow holds, but because I know who already holds tomorrow. The future has never been outside of his hands, not once. That doesn't mean tomorrow will always be easy. There will still be loss. There's still going to be disappointment, unexpected change. There will even be prayers that take longer than I hoped. There's going to be doors that close. There's going to be seasons I don't understand. But none of those things means that God has stopped being faithful. His faithfulness isn't measured by how predictable my life becomes. It's measured by his unchanging character. And his character has never failed me. So I'm learning something that sounds simple, but it's taken me years to begin believing. Tomorrow, it belongs to God, not me. My responsibility isn't to control it. It isn't to predict it. It isn't to carry it before it arrives. My responsibility is to trust him and be faithful with today, to love the people he's placed here in front of me, to do the work he's given me today, to receive today's grace, to walk in today's obedience. And then, when tomorrow becomes today, to trust him again. Maybe that's what walking by faith really looks like. Not having every answer, not seeing every step, but waking up each morning and saying, God, this day already belongs to you. Help me be faithful with it, because tomorrow it's going to come soon enough. And when it does, God, he's going to already be there, just like he always has been. So today, I'm choosing to let tomorrow stay where it belongs, in his hands. And I'm choosing to live fully right here, where his grace has already met me. And you know what it is, man. I appreciate you just for being here, coming to learn a little something, coming to get a little spirit on you. And I appreciate you. Till the next one.